Willer,
Book club buddies.
Book
are you
club
familiar
buddies.
with Dandadan?
I am familiar with Dandadan. Tyler, are you familiar with Dandadan?
No, I am absolutely not at all. Like, you couldn't even put it in the realm of things I've heard in my entire life of existence.
Well, we're gonna become familiar in a month because the manga is on a
Yeah.
break, which is why we're talking now.
Yeah.
Because I read that chapter, I was like, Joe, I know you want to talk. Because usually Joe's like, hey, arc's ending soon. It's rare that Joe goes, we need to talk now. So that's why I was like, okay, if he's ringing the bell very seriously, I will catch up. And I see why, because it's on a break. But also I feel like we're talking one chapter earlier than it would have been good to actually talk. But
Yeah,
such is life.
we can't control that.
Yeah. I mean, we can. We could have just not. But then, like, a month would have... I don't know.
Well, this is the perfect opportunity. It'd be like, oh, we're all done and caught up. And
The arc is done, right? So we finished
Yeah.
the board game arc,
Jumanji.
Jumanji.
Also, someone pointed out that Zuma Unji is just a pun of Jumanji.
Oh, yeah, no, I think I saw that, and sure,
Yeah.
sure, fair enough. It's like, yeah.
Fair.
Fair enough. Yeah, this is the Zuma introduction arc. We got through it. Last we left off, they did, like, the game with the frogs, and then they ended up in a hotel, and that is, like,
Nice.
last we talked.
Yeah.
And now we're back to it. There's not too much, I think, to talk about this time because we have a lot of action, a little bit of story, and then we leave on like the cliffhanger of all time, which
Yeah.
we'll wrap up with that. But as usual, or go ahead.
I was gonna say this arc reminds me a lot of like it's all the previous arcs. There's a lot less talking in Dandadan than a lot of other the manga that we read. Weirdly, a lot of just showing and less telling. A lot of jokes. But this reminds me a lot of the Evil Eye arc when it comes to like we've got a kid, he's haunted, and there's some other beings that we have to take care of, and there's like a whole group against the team this time around, and a lot of like just.
I
like,
guess on
crazy
the
shit.
surface level, sure. I think there's like a
Crazy
key
bullshit.
difference, which I'll get to later. But all right, as usual, I'll go over like the big plot points that happen. I took some pictures to refresh all of our memories. Also, some of them are just going to be like nice shots, like this one, where
Yeah.
we kick off and Zuma let Momo sleep on the bed while he slept outdoor, and he's like very nice. He's a cool guy. And then they do more adventuring, and they're gonna go like do the last quest to escape this world. That's like the setup, right? And we find out later it's like, psych, you're breaking the seals of this demon, which I think is a fun little twist. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And then this was funny. The last thing they have to do is a castle siege. I think the page before this one is like just a huge showing of how big the army is. It's like a
Yeah.
2-page spread of this gigantic fantasy army. And I think I said to Joe, what in the Age of Sigmar is going on here? Which is very top. I didn't know what Age of Sigmar was until last week. So thanks, Joe.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. So this arc is made specifically for Joe and Tyler because we're in this weird isekai, but also now we're playing with little men.
Yeah.
So I have nothing going on this arc. This is like, this one's for the boys. This was not for me. And they have to like break up the little. They have to do this stupid like dice rolling mini game to like generate an army.
And they try to cheat.
They do. Momo immediately tries to cheat. It doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And like she was gonna roll the highest dice first, so if she cheated with that, they would have had even less of an army. So it's also got like Pikmin color mechanics. Also, she goes yeet, and then
I just want to
throws
say
the die.
that it's very surreal seeing like, I guess modern vernacular in manga these days because Akane Banashi does it too. In some of the panels.
I have to imagine that she didn't say yeet in Japanese, and this is the localizers having fun because they know like how she talks. She would yeet. She's cringy.
It probably is like the equivalent of some Japanese noise or something.
Yeah.
Onomatopoeia. I shouldn't say noise, but like a sound that they make whenever
Yeah.
you throw something. It might be Yeet. It'd be very fun if it was Yeet.
Maybe we got Yeet from Japanese. Wow, look at that.
No, Yeet's from a Vine of like the kid with the.
Yeah, but maybe he got it from Japanese. You ever think of that? Oh, he studied the blade. So
I love this shot.
They make their armies, and we have this pre-battle shot. I like that Zuma's the one warrior. I thought that was very cool. Also, like, Momo's surprisingly good at commanding an army. I don't know where she got that from, but like, she picked up on this shit fast. I think she would enjoy a 4X game. She might like Warhammer better than I did. So.
It's true. Get all you got.
We got all the fighting. There's type advantages and all that. It's a nice little battle scene. It's whatever.
Yeah, it was very fun. It's just like a very different like way of doing like a combat in like the large scale combat kind of a thing. Because like he's like, all right, my characters aren't Musou characters like in One Piece, right? So I want to do this large scale battle thing because that makes sense in the fantasy realm, but it doesn't make sense for Zuma and Momo to just be running around and fucking comboing dudes all day. Like,
alternatively, if it was just like an army of gingerbread men, they would have torn through that shit. I guess they don't have. They're in the world where only one of them has their power at a time.
Yeah,
but
they have to trade off the ball. Remember?
Yeah, you gotta hold the ball.
Yeah. Let's see.
And then when things get bad, the delinquents show up. Yeah. So this is the
outlaw class.
Yeah.
Okay, so forgive me if I'm wrong, Willard. You just read this. I feel like I missed a chapter where they got everyone into the board game.
No, like even before, like it wasn't even in this stretch. Like before, in the previous time we talked, they set it up where like they get to the board game, but we never see them enter. I don't think.
Okay,
maybe
so
we saw Okarun enter. Maybe.
I know we saw. No, we didn't see Okarun enter because
no, they all just show up.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Granny says that box is cursed. Don't get near it. Like she very explicitly is like worried about it when she shows up.
And then they got near it. Yeah.
And they all got near it.
Right in time.
They got the fucking bikes.
Yeah. I like that. There's one point where she goes, the delinquents are mages, and I don't know. I thought that was just like a. I thought that was just like a goofy little joke.
That's a good joke.
Tyler has the best joke of all time here, where
the Persona 5 boss.
he posted Madarame, and I remember seeing that. I don't usually look at the channel until like I read everything that you guys discuss. I remember seeing that. I was like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" And then months later,
we just post really big things sometimes between Joe and I. And I was like, I have to spoiler tag this, and Willard's gonna go, "What the fuck does this mean?"
But you were cooking. This is what's it called? The fairy tale card yokai.
Yeah.
Never heard of this one. I have seen the umbrella yokais in the past. In fact,
yes.
Like Big Bomb makes one in Wano, like a little umbrella guy, and I think those are neat. I've never heard of like the little card yokai.
I think there's one Yu Yu Hakusho as well.
Probably.
I've definitely the yokai with an umbrella is definitely like the most common one I've seen.
Actually.
Yeah, this one I definitely was like, oh, Madarame must be based off of this monster.
Yes, absolutely. Like this made it a lot. Like he's a mix of this and high art, which creates the paintings instead of the cards, which is like kind of brilliant. Looking back on it,
retroactively makes that fight like even cooler.
Yeah,
how they reinterpreted that yokai.
If there's anything that could be said about the Shin Megami Tensei Persona design team, they put a lot of work into their character designs that we will never appreciate until much later.
Yeah,
that's just how it is.
That's why you expand your cultural appreciation. Just read different things.
Dandadan.
Dandadan. Yeah. Are you familiar with it?
I am familiar with it. Okay, so this the fairy tale card has what I consider kind of a boring power for everything that we've done, which is just like he takes over people if you see him.
Yeah.
I think he's a kind of an like. How do y'all feel about him as a boss? Like the cards.
I think he's very flat, pun not intended. It's just like
shut up
compared to other villains. Like I don't know, I think his world and his gimmick is fun. I guess.
The world is more fun than I think his fighting style.
Yeah. That one. It's just more annoying. It's like fighting a boss that only does like the status effects, and you're just like, okay, I just need to like get my cure guy to not get stunned for the one round, and I'll be okay. It kind of just feels like that a little bit. It feels very static. I like that we're having this bringing Unji back to us kind of a thing. And it's because it's a great backstory, but the villain itself is very whatever.
Yeah. Tyler, you got any particular thoughts about Cardman?
No, it was all, dude. I was telling them earlier. I really lost track of what was going on with Cardman and Umbrella Man, and I'm like, how is Cardman related to Umbrellas? Yeah. But Umbrellas is like his power, but Cardman was using.
Yeah, he was just using Umbrella Man. My thing is like,
did Umbrella Man get his powers from Cardman, or like
no?
He just got his powers from the ball, so he has Umbrella powers without a spirit.
No, we see him get his power, but that's a thing that we can talk. It's in his flashback, and I want to touch back on that a little later.
I know, I get why he uses umbrellas, but like, he got the power. Like, all their other characters get their powers from a spirit.
Yeah.
To relate to that, but umbrellas only relate to him.
There's an umbrella spirit.
There's an umbrella spirit in the flashback, but the thing is, it's there in literally one page. So I think that's kind of like, I'll talk about the flashback a little bit later. The thing is, we've had like flat boss enemies personality-wise. I don't have a problem with that because they've had fun, wacky things going around them. Like, even take like way back when we're fighting the shrimp guy who goes Chiquita, and the Loch Ness monster. That fight's fucking insane. Like, that is like an insane underwater fight with a mecha Nessie. Like, that's got shit going on. The card guy just kind of like has a boring take you over, and really you're fighting Zuma for the arc. So the card guy doesn't really add much. I will say, I think this form that Zuma takes is like because he's that rageful for the world, right? And that's why he looks like this now. I would like to see him get into this form in the future, even though he's going to be a good guy, because this is the coolest transformation in the story so far. I mean, I don't know if y'all have a favorite one. I think they all look really cool. Evil Eye looks a little goofy, but I think this is the top one for me as far as the look.
Controversially, Okarun's is the weakest, but that's just me.
I mean, he's the basic. He's the starter. He's the Mario.
Okarun looks cool, man. I think Okarun looks sick because of like the eye shadow shit that he gets going on and the white hair.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just think Evil Eye.
I do think. Yeah.
Evil Eye's got some riz going on.
Evil Eye's just a naked man with a third eye, which is pretty raw, to be fair.
Yes. And underwear. He wears whitey tighties, like.
If we have to rank it, okay, just based on the designs, for me goes Umbrella Man, then Ira with the dancing lady, then I'll throw in like Quinta's mech next. Well, no, I'll throw in Okarun, then Quinta's mech, and then I'll throw in Evil Eye, as far as like just pure design.
Fair, I guess. Yeah.
Oh, and then like bottom of the barrel underneath the earth is Rin and her transformation, which we'll get to. So yeah, looks cool. Anyways, fucking Serpo guys, how cool is Serpo?
He's the best.
How is the best?
How did Banana Cock become one of the hypest characters in the story? Like,
they knew what they were doing.
Wants a good wage, man.
He just wants to know how much it costs. So like the fight's just kind of ridiculous because they just kind of show up and the cop showing up is so bizarre. And it feels kind of forced, like him getting here. It's for the backstory, but like...
Nah, Cop Man is S+ character.
Bro, he's here with police armor and a gun.
Okay, but Guy is actually potentially the strongest character.
Shut up.
On the flip side, though, you could potentially also say, like, the cop guy has probably been, like, looking for Unji for days.
Yes,
so he's probably out on his bike patrolling and just running around. It's like, he's probably in trouble. I need to find him. Kind of a situation.
I mean, we met him at the station where there's that stupid it's so funny, that heist they do, and then you spend like 90% of a chapter doing the heist, and then Turbo Granny just leaves because she like gets fed up or something.
She can't use the fucking computer.
So goofy. So goofy.
This manga is so funny.
It is. That is truly a big plus of it. Yeah, Cop Man shows up. Bro's
Hey, dude, you're all under arrest.
like, bro, what do you think where do you think you are right now? Like, it's just the dialogue with him is a little goofy for where he is right now. Like, it's a little too over the top.
I do like we got a Les Mis reference.
No, he attacks only in Les Mis reference. I'm like, where is this coming from? But then I remember Jennifer Lopez Anaconda and Chiquita. So we have ABBA references. We have Les Mis. Like, whatever, man. That's just how things go. Look at this guy.
Which one of you has a cannon? That's dangerous.
Yeah, shut up. Fucking dumbass.
This is like when you're playing a fucking team shooter and like one of them's just a guy with a shield and a pistol.
Oh yeah. This is when you're playing EDF and you play as a ranger with like normal guns.
Yeah.
And then your team members are all freaks. There's this cool sequence here where they're fighting and like he blocks and attacks with his sandals. Like, so I will say Zuma's fighting style is also super sick. Just flying around with the umbrella shots and like he's doing like umbrella rail cannons, but then also fighting with his like cool sandals.
He's using every part of his kit.
He really is. You got this portion where like they're going Jujutsu Kaisen on his ass, and then he's controlling the umbrella. I got a little confused here. So like, I guess he's controlling the umbrella mentally. So it slams into the cop. The cop is down, and then it like flips back around and hits Okarun from behind the head, which knocks Okarun off of him. And then he just straight up like kills Okarun after this. Like he like lands on top of him and does like a point blank blast. But Okarun got up the ball, so he's okay.
I think he got his shoes off.
So you guys were saying some shit about this guy not having the rawest design. Look at this! Look at this smile! This fucking freak.
Dude, they had to get the gripper shot in there.
I saw this shot. I was like, Will's gonna really like this panel. Like
this is dope. What do you mean?
It's from Willercore.
This is Willercore as hell, and also like, bro's got calves that put mine to shame. Like,
it's like ripped. What the fuck?
And then this slowly like he beats the shit out of Zuma a little bit. We transition to the backstory.
This confused me for a little bit because I thought Zuma was the kid.
I also thought that at first, but it is his younger brother. For some reason, I was like, "Is Zuma the little kid and the cop is his older brother?" But I was like, "He aged so much." Like,
I know.
Oh my god!
I was thinking. I was like, "What is going on?"
So like tragic stuff. I like how later in the flashback you get more significance to the umbrella and the boots. It's like the one not hand-me-down that the little brother has. So like this is pretty sad. So he's lost his dad. Corporate greed is trying to put it under the table. He loses his brother. And like he barely misses out on saving him, which will come back to him. And then his mom takes him out to Disneyland and then tries to commit a murder-suicide. I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah, it got real dark real fast.
Yo, I love when Dandadan gets fucked up dark. It happens Evil Eye had it. Zamola was in a fucking war arc that was like super dark, and also Ira's like ghost backstory was really sad. So like
this face the mom is making is horrifying.
Oh yeah, she's deranged. She's biting herself to the point of bleeding.
She's even biting her hair. Like she has like she's almost using.
That's a good
She's using
point.
the hair as like a way to like kind of like grip onto something almost to like almost numb it, so she's not completely biting into her lip, but she still is.
The illustration here of him like clawing his hands away from her, like just the intensity in which it's illustrated. It's like weekly manga, and not always just from the spread. It's the small details also that are like, how is this shit done the way it does? Not that many crazy spreads this time, I'll say, compared to like other arcs. So Zuma then goes on to hate everything, which is like pretty fair considering everything you've been through.
He gets the same eyeshadow effect that his mom has in that last panel, or the last page we were just looking at.
That's a good point. I guess you could read that as like she was also at a point of hating everything at that point in life, which would explain that. And
sick.
The cop, like, the relationship between him and this cop, right? To me, that's the back. Like, that is very wholesome. Cop's a great guy, really patient, and that's why I'm like, okay, it's goofy that he is here, but I really appreciate, like, their bond, and it adds a lot to both characters. Do you suppose that Cop will join the main party?
Cop's just gonna show up at the house for dinner and be like, y'all are all under arrest.
Every time. You just figured it out. Every fucking time he's gonna say that.
He's gonna see Psycho, Grandma, and even be like, I'm sorry, I apologize.
Oh, dude, he should date Psycho!
Grandma and Cop would make a good couple.
Yo, they should date! Finally, another good ship.
The offense and the defensive coordinator for soccer or whatever.
Oh! Yo, he would be a great coach. Him and Psycho.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yes, I need this now. And you know what? It's gonna happen. I believe in Tatsu's vision. I really like this part. He's hitting him with all the umbrellas, and then he sees his dead family, and then kind of their dynamic changes after that. He sees he's also lost a lot. I think he, like, when he saves someone, like, later on, he goes on to say, like, yeah, this world's really rotten, but I'm not going to let it break me. And I was like, okay, I'm really now invested in this character. Tyler, you were talking about, like, the umbrella being a spirit. This is basically all we see. See, he's, like, gonna see...
Yeah, the spirit doesn't make a comeback, does it?
No, I mean, it's just being manifested. Yeah, but, like, but we don't see it as a spirit.
We got the jacked thigh spirit.
Look at this guy. He's fucking ripped, bro.
So here's the question, right? Is this actually his little brother's spirit in this form, or is this spirit like manipulating him with his little brother?
Because some of the other spirits are like for example, Rin's spirit is just straight up her friend, right?
Friend. Yeah.
And I think that's happened also with, like, Evil Eye was just a kid. The dancing lady was a woman, so I feel like it's just manipulating him. This is my problem. Like, it's not a problem, but when you compare this to the Evil Eye arc, we had a lot of pathos for the Evil Eye himself. Well, this and Gigi, but this is more all about Zuma and the cop, and we get nothing on the spirit, right? So that's why I can't, like, really say they're quite the same setup, because I feel like that one was more like
I do also wonder if, like, there's something about, like, the yokai, like, umbrella spirit that we're missing. Like, it is, like,
for sure.
People drowning in rainstorms or something like that.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure the story of the umbrella yokai starts with, like, a kid who lost his umbrella or something in the pond.
Yeah.
You know, that's how that goes. You know what? I'll look it up after. But yeah, this is all really good. But, like, really, I like this thing's design. Hopefully we see it again.
And especially because, like, usually when we see these things in, like, anime, they look goofy.
Yes.
So, like, this actually looks like, oh, I would be afraid of that if I saw it on the street.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes they're scary. I don't read a lot of, like, spirit detective manga, but there's a ton of them, and I think of, like, but when I think of yokai, also I think of, like, Yokai Watch, and I don't know much about them, but I picture of goofy little ghosts.
Exactly.
Little mascot boys, which is, I've never even played one of those, but yeah. This is that interaction I was telling, where, like, you get to learn a lot more about, like, how the cop views the world.
Yeah.
Zuma's out here crying. I saw a post recently where, like, it's a meme in Dandadan subreddit to, like, pretend like they don't know what years are. I'm like,
no, that's a Chainsaw Man meme.
Oh my fucking god. Okay. I forgot that Chainsaw or Dandadan is just Chainsaw Man derivative fan base. So it's stupid and brain rotted.
It's great to other anime subreddits as well. So
I see. Years don't exist. I got it. Okay. I need to catch up to Chainsaw Man and find out what the year lore is.
I need to restart at some point of Chainsaw Man because I lost the plot at one point.
Oh, you cannot. If there's any manga you cannot do that for, it's that one, because they will not explain the plot. They don't give a shit. They'll just move.
Like, that fucking sucks.
And then finally do a little prayer together. But yeah, we don't know the context of, like, how he lost track of Zuma, so I don't know if there's any ideas there on y'all.
Because he went to the box.
But Zuma was also part of a gang.
He was just hanging out with them, and then he just didn't come home because he went to the box. So Zuma's been in the box for like 3 or 4 days.
I guess he still hung out with them during this time. We just don't see them in the it's kind of weird that we don't see them in the flashback is all, so I don't know. Because I don't know, maybe he started hanging out with them after this, but that's kind of like also weird because like he's got a good parental figure now. I don't know. Anyways,
I think it's just she starts like expanding that circle because if you remember like when the gangsters talk about him, they really like him.
Yeah,
they look up to him like a big brother. So it's kind of like the influence of like he really improved our lives. So I think it's the chain reaction of like the cop has improved Zuma and Zuma's improving these guys. Kind of.
okay,
That's what
I like it. We'll go with that. I like that one.
Yeah. Anyways,
so the manga was good without like it had like tasteful fan service for a while. Is this just her costume now? This shit's ass. Like,
yeah.
this shit's. So I mentioned last time I do not like her spirit. That's probably my least favorite character in the manga. Let her write her smut. She doesn't want to be an idol.
yeah.
No, the spirit is like fucked up. She's like, no, you will be a fucking idol.
Yeah, like,
otherwise I'm gonna kill you.
Is this thing gonna get a character arc, or is it just gonna be weird all the time? I don't know.
We already got its character arc.
No, it just showed. So that's what was weird. Also, like,
No, that is. Do you not remember the giant rock, like, moving rock band van?
no, I do, but like they acted different. Like that was the friend who was angry, and then like after they merged or whatever happened, he became this little thing called Cowabunga, not Cowabunga, it's Cowabunga. And yeah, I don't like Cowabunga. It's a little shit.
It's definitely a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle reference.
Oh shit! And it's this guy's mind is so odd. Why is it a turtle? I don't know.
I'm hoping that as her she gets more confident, gets more power, her outfit improves.
That's what That's what I imagine will happen. She'll have like a cool evolution of dresses like idols do. So that could be cool.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I don't know. I like the character of the school president, but she comes with baggage. So
yeah,
we'll say that.
Also, none of the boys are doing like the weird shy look. Anyways,
we finally have the two-way confession. It was great. It's a cool scene. Everyone's floating out. And we have like a couple of minutes to kill the thing, or otherwise Momo dies. So it's a cool setup there. The thing is, like, this immediately is followed by, okay, but tell me for real. And then at the end of the arc, we have Tiny Momo. So I feel like it's like, okay, but tell me when I'm not tiny anymore. And then when she's not tiny anymore, it's going to be like, okay, but Okarun got kidnapped for the Dandadan. So we got to tell it after Okarun gets kidnapped. I feel like this is a big moment. I'm not super confident it's going to lead to anything because of Tiny Momo. As cool as this is, I'm not super confident yet that it'll be anything.
Yeah, a month. You could stew in that.
Yeah.
They could go on fun tiny dates in their tiny Barbie house.
That's a little weird, man. It's a little weird.
Maybe a little bit weird.
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Saint Germain shows up, and Tyler's like, "Who the fuck is Saint Germain?"
Yeah, this sounds like I think a character from I don't know, Full Metal Alchemist or something.
This is a Black Clover character.
Yeah, this character's from a different anime.
But he's here. So the reason why you don't remember him is because he is literally he just fucking shows up. So I had to go back and look at this. At the end of the last big arc, the alien, the other Serpos are talking to the freaky squid aliens. And they're like, there's a big problem. Why is Saint Germain with them? And we don't know who the fuck this guy is. We see one panel. Next we see him. He walks out of a big Japanese museum tomb looking thing, wearing glasses. He goes to Okarun's school, and Momo's school. He's working in the faculty office, and then he shows up. It's like, you guys don't remember me? I'm your principal or whatever. I'm your teacher. And they're like, I guess. So he literally just shows up and gaslights them into pretending like he's been there forever.
His power is gaslighting.
Yeah, his actual power, and I do think it's pretty cool. This is an exciting character to me, but he just fucking showed up, so I don't know anything about him. But yeah. I think why he's exciting is that he collects.
He collects
spirit and paranormal items and weapons. Which is why when he was introduced, Turbo Granny looked really pissed. And I think she saw him and she was so I don't know. I think it's gonna end with him hunting down Turbo Granny, and that's how we're gonna become enemies with this guy. because he's gonna want the turbo speed. But he's cool.
Yeah.
I'm keen to see.
Gaslights the boss in this arc.
He
Like,
does.
he shows up. It's like I don't know what you're talking about. I'm gonna kill you now.
Well, he's like, I didn't say exactly that. I you know.
in the panel he shows up, the boss says that, and Saint Germain goes, I don't know you. I'm just gonna fucking kill you now. He just.
Well, you know, you do you.
Yeah, it's like girl boss. What's the other thing?
Gatekeep. He is
Gatekeep.
He came out of a gate, so he is a gatekeeper. Yeah, I could see this being the main antagonist or a cool rival like character that will join us at the end.
No, this guy's gonna help us. This guy is gonna explain how the Dandadan is the end of the world and a gate to another dimension. We're gonna fight the big baddie with him.
Don't tell. We'll talk about the Dandadan in a second. We got a couple.
I think it's gonna be like a Scar character where he's like antagonistic to a lot of the sides, and so but like at the same time he helps the heroes every once in a while.
Man, but Scar is very antagonistic. So, I feel like this guy's gonna be a little more chill.
Does kill a lot of people.
Yeah, Scar.
He
Scar's
does.
so sick. Anyways, it's cool. We're cutting him, and like it's like I will say this is like the lamest fight in the series. It's like it's just not that exciting. I think. And visually, it's like not super interesting.
I do want to say though, like keeping on the theme of like a board/RPG game, the way they fight them is kind of like how you would fight like an RPG boss in a JRPG.
It's one of those like we gotta kill them all at the same time kind of bosses.
This is just the boss from Persona 5.
Yeah, I think he will revive its faces too, if I'm not mistaken. So you're right. I like this little yokai like abstract.
Black hair cutter.
The black hair cutter.
That's
Of
probably
course.
like when he reloads his sword, it probably gets a new move in it.
Yeah,
That's a freaking monster hunter weapon right there, where he has to reload his sword.
I
It's
know.
called the Switch X.
No, well, he's putting little files in it, so I guess it is the Switch X, yeah. But he's not switching the files.
Yeah.
And then we have to team kill him. We have to go all out 3 times, so Okarun's got a new thing, and Serpo's got a gun, and
Forgive me, Master. I must go all out this one time.
I'm sure his limit is now 3, and after the next couple arcs it'll be 4, and then he'll do 5 in the final arc.
And then Infinity.
Whoa. All out, all the time, everywhere, all at once.
But then Turbo Granny has to sacrifice herself so Okuru doesn't die.
True. Speaking of Turbo Granny sacrificing herself, I do like this
that's so
little,
funny.
like, precious moment of them. It's like, thanks for being with me. It's like, I can't abandon someone precious to Seiko. And I found out that if you read the manga volumes, there's little snippets of Turbo Granny and the Granny hanging out. That's pretty cute. I think Joe shared one of those with us at one point. I was like, oh, that is... Yeah.
Where like...
It's fantastic stuff. But then she's like, no, take Momo instead. That's classic Turbo Granny. Did I tell y'all that Turbo Granny is now a demon in the new version of Shin Megami Tensei 5? Yeah. I'll show you her design. She's just a granny who's running on all 4s.
So my friend also plays Shin Megami Tensei, but doesn't read like a lot of manga. And so like he's like he showed me like look at this yokai. It's called Turbo Granny. He's like, oh, I know what that is.
I know Turbo Granny. Yeah. They gave her a whole quest and everything because I don't know, the Dandadan influence had to be part of play because I don't think she's ever been a demon before. Yeah, Sir Germain gaslights and girl keeps and gas bosses. This guy's he reminds me of a little suit. Like this is a Hideaki Miyazaki character.
The little soup monsters.
Yeah, a little soup monster. And then he hits you with by the way, are you familiar with Dandadan? This is so out of nowhere. What are we supposed to do with this? Like, what? Okay.
They have faceless Buddhas in the background.
Okay, so hear me out. Each of these little circle things is a cycle.
The mandala, or I believe in Buddhism, the cycles of life or whatever. Okay, but what does that mean?
Like, basically, he travels, like, to certain cycle portions of, like, different worlds, potentially, when they're about to undergo some sort of, like, change, I think.
Yeah, okay. That's what I'm getting. And to reference something Tyler knows, there's some Dungeon Crawler Carly stuff going on here, where... I think this planet is like, all right, it's time for this planet to get seized. We're gonna do like what we do to every planet, and it's your turn. And that's like why the golden ball ended here, etc., etc. One of the humans is born with the golden ball. We gotta retrieve it, and then we get to like repo the planet or take it over, whatever.
Yeah.
I think the Dandadan is like the supernatural cycle of like once.
Yeah.
I think they talked about like what was it like? What was the link between yokai and aliens in this series? Like they talked about it once, and I'm forgetting the details, but maybe Joe remembers.
It was some sort of like psychic field, if I remember correctly.
It's like the yokais protect the planet from the aliens kind of vibe.
Yeah, like basically like they're not detectable by aliens, but the aliens know that they're there, so they don't know how to deal with them. It's something along those lines.
So I'm thinking like the Dandadan, which I was like, it's called Dandadan because it's like da da da, like a thing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it is, but he's like, wait, I could do something really funny.
I also found out that the suffix for like ghost story, alien story, and weird stories all end with Dan, so it's a pun on all three of those stories.
I see. It's a ghost, alien, whatever story. It's yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Dandadan.
Yeah, of course. So I think it's just like when supernatural forces collide, it leads to the natural end cycle of a planet, and it takes the form of a contest between the forces. So Dandadan is the cyclical war of aliens versus spiritual forces that happens when a planet has too much spiritual energy or something, or when a planet is discovered.
And it's gonna be soccer.
And it's going to be at least if it's not soccer, it is a sports festival arc for sure.
Ooh, that would be so fun. It's got like, yeah.
But I think soccer would be so fucking funny though. Like if it's battle soccer, oh.
Imagine if it was American football. That'd be very, very funny.
So I miss Ice Shield 21. Nothing scratching the surface. So I'll take it.
I do. This spread is like wild. I just want to say because it's like, it's the least context you could ever have for anything ever.
I know.
Right?
No, I was pissed when I read this. I was like, this is giving me nothing. Like I have nothing to draw from this aside from like it's maybe. I feel like. The takeaway is like this is some spiritual Buddhist shit. I feel like it's barely gonna be related to that. I think this is just a funky.
Do you think this is like a fourth wall break where the author's like, are you familiar with it? And we look at it and go, no.
You know what you're about to see. I think this is like
It is tongue in cheek. I think. But Tyler's onto something. It's like you don't know the real Dandadan, and that's like kind of part of the joke.
These are totally planets or like planes or some shit, because it's like they're very much separated. They have the same like overall structure, but they're very different from one another when you look at them. Right? They have all the Buddha in the center, and then they have like the thick black lines designate the end of the circle. They have like patterns.
I think I don't know. I feel like it's just like the natural life and death cycle, and it's just like it's happened a couple times. Like it's happened either on different planets or on planet Earth multiple times.
And then we got big Buddhas as like the actual like weird Cthulhu beings that live between this stuff.
Yeah, these little Uzumaki Buddhas are, I don't know what to make of them.
Man, this guy really liked using that mirror tool here. That really helped here a lot.
I don't know.
The in-between stuff is all mirrored. Like, that's the other thing, too. Like, the stuff in between the circles, it's all mirrored on the other side of the page.
True. Okay, I'm seeing that now. Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, no. This group of Halo men is different from this group of Halo men.
Okay.
Aside from that, everything looks the same. But, I mean, I wonder if he used some kind of software to make all this, because he takes a lot of shortcuts to make the weekly manga that we love and enjoy.
I hope it's not AI, but...
Nah, I mean, it would be some sort of fractal tool.
Yeah. Hold on. Like, okay, so... Sorry, I'm digging too deep into this.
This is a troll, bro. There's nothing here. This is nonsense.
Nothing.
Usually, I'm the one that digs deep and tries to find meaning in the little details. This is fucking bullshit. I'm telling you, bro. this is
First chapter is like Saint Germain holding up a tablet with this image to the little like soup monster, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
And he's like, this is actually like everything you see here is integral to understanding the Dandadan. And I'm like, oh, okay, fuck me then. No,
It's like
no, because next chapter we're cutting away from that conversation, and I'm going to shoot. I'm gonna shoot myself and then Tatsu as a yokai.
wow, that's impressive. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll be a yokai.
You'll be the gun yokai.
Yeah. That's pretty much all we had to cover. Nice little short stretch.
Do you think that Tatsu is to be researching yokai alien stuff, or do you think it's to be researching dates that people go on and just go on Tinder and Hinge and like kind of see what that experience is like?
What the fuck? Oh, he's doing like research for Okarun Delon's Tinder arc?
Yeah, or like for just.
Well, he's like, my girlfriend's too small. I gotta search
It's
around.
funny. She turned into a worm almost.
Would you still love me if she should? Oh, dude, she should say it. Come on.
Oh, crap! As small as a worm, do you still love me?
That would be so good. Even if the localizers have to completely lie about a line, they should do it. It's worth it.
Do it.
Fucking Ace Attorney it. Go to Japaniforca.
But overall, I enjoyed this arc a lot. I thought it was very fun.
Tyler, where are you at with this arc? Tyler, was it because to me this is one of the weaker ones, if not the weakest one.
I think so too, but I still really.
I mean, no, it was enjoyable. It's still a good time, but I think like it was lacking in both like action. Well, I don't even know if it was particularly long, but maybe like.
Also, at one point, I got a little confused while like it was just them inside the board game, and they do like the overnight thing. I was like, is this like are they flirting here? Like
that was intentional, I think, to make us think that like
yeah. I'm like,
But it didn't last for too long, and I do appreciate that. Like.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, I don't know, like, when you look back at this arc, there's also, like, the little frog minigame, there's the chef stuff. It's like, those are cute, but they didn't really add anything. Like, they didn't add to the main villain. It's just, like, a seal. So it just kind of felt like something for Zuma and Momo to do that was maybe, like, a little too long here and there. Like, this feels like the least focused arc, but it's also the most creative.
Well, it's funny, because, like, I was going to say, like, it feels like he just was like, I just want to make a board game and kind of focused on that.
That's not very focused. I don't know, like, because I get like the board game had the cards, but the only card that like mattered was like the stone card that they used a lot. So it's like
I think it's also just like he doesn't like dwelling. He doesn't like having long, especially long arcs, right? Like it always changes somewhat. The longest one was the alien arc, and even then there was a break where like they went and like a whole different set of aliens show up and like they have to fight in like the city at nighttime and then everything, and then we have a whole big flashback as well. It's just to me like it felt like now granted it also might be a case of like he is taking a month-long break and he was just like, hey, I need to like just take a break to regas and be creative again.
I mean, he never goes on breaks, and he does this weekly what we're seeing here. So it's like, he should go on more breaks actually. But
he went on one break once.
I genuinely worry for this person, but I also said it's not one human being; it's 100 people because it's the only way this is feasible.
Tatsu is a pen name for like 30 different head artists.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see what comes out of this. I wonder if this is like almost the Marineford part of like the halfway point of the story, right?
You can't just throw Marineford as the halfway point of a story because Marineford is built different because that takes 500 chapters of building up all these characters to show up for 30 chapters of pure chaos. Like you can.
True.
But yeah, it's a halfway. Yeah, this might be like a end of part one kind of thing.
Yeah.
Guess we'll see.
Because this is chapter what now?
I think this is like 160 something.
Yeah, we're over 100. We're almost at 200, and generally now, for like new Shonen Jump like stories, they've been going to like 200, 220, and then stopping.
Yeah,
right?
Like 200, 300, I think is like the new, like a long manga these days is 300, 400, like a My Hero or a Haikyuu.
Yeah, Jujutsu's at 264,
but that's on its last arc.
Yeah, My Hero's in it at 429, and that's kind of like at the.
That's a longer one. That's a long arc or a long story.
Yeah, didn't that start like right as like that didn't start right when the big three ended? That started like a few years after, right? Or am I crazy?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think it was like right at the end of Bleach or anything.
Let's see. When did? Oh, they don't put the dates for the stuff that's in volumes.
Anyway,
but yeah, it just.
Yeah,
2015.
I see this being a low 300 series, but who knows?
Mm-hmm. Not to insult it. It's just like based on the pacing and everything.
No, yeah, things should end, and ending's cool actually.
Yeah. Endings are cool. Come on, give us Soccer Tatsu.
Come on, it'd be so fucking funny.
You could even do a Ted Lasso reference, and it would be so fucking funny.
Oh yeah, he definitely knows what the fuck Ted Lasso is.
He fucking made a Jumanji joke.
Jumanji is on a different scale of Ted Lasso.
He made a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle joke.
That's the TMNT. Everyone knows what that is. Even if they don't, if you don't know anything, you still know they exist. It's like all that weird turtle shit. Yeah.
A weird turtle shit.
Fucking Ted Lasso. What do you think this is?
Manga for fun. But yeah, I mean, with Unji, what are we at 9? Are we at 8? Where are we
I
at?
lost track. Yeah. We have like 4.
Wait. How many friends do we have now with?
That's what Joe's asking. I think.
Yeah.
So we have the core 2, Gigi, Ira, Rin, Quinta, Zuma, Unji, Zuma.
Girl and Unji.
But we also have Chiquita Crab. He literally showed up for that alien arc. Like, yeah, I'm here, bitch. So I'm gonna count him. Maybe Mannequin Man, right?
Maybe
Mannequin Man.
He's got legs.
And then like, I'm not gonna count the goth like band. They're support characters for sure.
They're the halftime entertainment.
I'm gonna add the cop, putting us at 10.
The cop's the
Serpo.
coach.
Serpo's 11.
Serpo. I think Serpo's on the team, but the cop has got to be the coach. I think.
No, Psycho's the coach. Come on now.
No, they're the offensive and defensive coordinators.
That's not how, like, soccer's not that deep, bro. He's not gonna get that deep.
There were 3 coaches on Ted Lasso.
Yeah, but like, what the fuck did Beard do?
Beard made the plays. Beard was the actual.
Oh, shit. What the fuck did Ted do? Nothing.
Ted was the most support.
Also, Nate was not a real coach. He was a snake who got off too easy.
Nate made 2 good plays that they used, and Ted also came up with the Dutch triangle. Like he went and got high at the barbecue sauce place and decided that they should.
But he didn't
threes.
get high though because Ted's a pure boy.
Yeah,
Oh,
but like
super high.
with that, yeah.
He got like, whoa, dude.
Exactly. But I think we're getting there. We're cooking. Like, I think maybe
We have, if we count certain ones, we're at 11. If Saint Germain will be a bad guy who joins the team, which is a very sports shonen, so
Yes.
he's definitely one. So
We
at
can have
most,
some subs.
we need like
subs.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta have like
So-
the mannequin will die like mid battle. It's gonna be a dope.
He's gonna be armless like his fiance, and just be like a torso. It's like we're even closer now because we're the
Oh,
same.
you know what, Reiko, the like smiling lady. I think
Oh.
that's my hot pick. She's gonna join the crew.
Oh, true.
Cause she was kind. They said she's the strongest yokai. So
True.
yeah, they hyped her up, and we did.
No,
not
what
fuck.
happens is.
Oh my god! Do you remember when she fucking like, mirror stomped the whole army? That shit.
I was just thinking about that the other day. Like that's gotta be like a 3-bar later in life. But I was just thinking, like, what if she's on the enemy team, and then Momo and Okurun show some sort of like love together, and she
Well,
turns.
if the Dandadan is a Davy backfight of multiple crews, then I guess we would need a ghost team with like the leftover ghost. It would have the Jennifer Lopez Anaconda people, maybe.
Oh, they're underground people.
Yeah, the fucking
people.
don't forget Subterranean's 4th faction that genuinely exists and had the creepiest things in the story.
Yeah, the red crocodile rapist.
The what?
Remember they had like the Momo went to the spring, and there was the old men, and they all had their heads under the water like crocodiles, and they were swimming towards her.
Yeah. Okay. True. True. All right, that's enough. We'll
We're done.
reconvene at the next good stopping point, which I'm sure the next arc they tend to have like a good little